Then at each point, axle load, they would deliberately stop my trucks and other trucks would be passing because they say that boy is an MPP boy. My partner had to rush to Vice President Mahama, as he then was, and he had to intervene to call those boys to order. Omahin or abetifi oman mumpeyinfo our kwewoman. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra, Honorable Ministers of State, MP from Praeso, MP for Abetifi, other colleague MPs here present, captains of industry and industry players, distinguished members of the business community, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Permit me to start with a little bit of an experience in industry. As a young man, I started a transport business. My trading partners were Kwewus. They supplied me spare parts and ties on credit. I went through difficult times with the banks, getting loans at high interest, and my workers letting me down. I recall a situation where at Guinness, Ghana, where I was transporting their drinks, at the end of a month, they would deduct all the losses I've made, and then my check was just too small to even pay my loan. And my tie suppliers and spare parts dealers will be on me. I have to pay them. But what happened? Drivers will go and park and play football. They will park and steal some of the drinks and sell. At Awaso, where I was running the bauxite business, drivers will park, they don't care. At a point, I had to bring an expert from Canada to assist me. Though we had a transport manager, but the Obroni's face did a change for us, and I had to pay dollars. I remember my days at the weekend court because I had to pay SNET and I was defaulting. And the workers did not really care. And they would even go and report to you that you've not paid their SNET. And they will use their union to do aluta. The businessman is really suffering. And I also recall when there was a change of government in 2008 and the new government came into office, I was running from Bupe, Aplao to Bupe. We pick gypsum from Tablibo in Togo, go to Aplao, drop some for diamond cement, and continue to Bupe. And then at each point, axle load, they would deliberately stop my trucks and other trucks would be passing because they say that boy is an MPP boy. My partner had to rush to Vice President Mahama, as he then was, and he had to intervene to call those boys to order. Because I told my partner to tell him that the diamond cement factory in Bupe, if they don't get the limestone, they won't produce the cement, and it will affect his area. Did we go or did we come? Indeed, I needed to give you this background so that those of you in private business will relate, so that we know where we are starting from and what is expected of us as a political class. Let me say it's an honor to join you for this second edition of the Kwewu Business Forum, an important platform that continues to inspire fresh thinking about Ghana's economic future, while reminding us that the future of our nation is deeply intertwined with the active participation of the private sector, particularly the strength of its indigenous businesses and the vision of its entrepreneurs. The theme for this year, the future of business, the role of the financial sector, is not only timely but foundational. No economy can thrive where access to finance remains elusive. Ghana's economic future will depend heavily on the strength, agility, and the resilience of its business community, and on the strategic role of the financial sector that it plays in supporting particularly our indigenous enterprises to scale up and succeed. When we empower local businesses with the capital and confidence they need to grow, we do more than boost productivity. We open up the pathways for job creation. And in a country where youth unemployment remains one of our most urgent national challenges, building a strong and inclusive financial ecosystem is not just an economic imperative, it is also a social one as well. Now, championing entrepreneurship. As I've already indicated, as someone who over 2 decades not only found himself in public service, but also in the private enterprise, I understand the hurdles that define the entrepreneurial journey. I have walked the often unpredictable road of private enterprise, and so I know firsthand the thrill of opportunity and the weight of challenges that every Ghanaian entrepreneur must carry. I understand what it means to raise capital, to innovate through constraint, and to stay resilient in the face of shifting market dynamics and a fragile entrepreneurial ecosystem. These personal experiences have deepened my conviction that entrepreneurship is not just a livelihood, it is nation building. It is also what continues to shape my passion for championing policies that support and empower Ghanaian entrepreneurs and the private sector, because I don't just sympathize with their journey out of theory, I identify with it from lived experience. I understand their struggles, their sacrifices, and their ambitions. It is precisely because of this that I believe, as a political class, we have a responsibility to depoliticize entrepreneurship, to create an ecosystem where business owners can thrive without fear of being tagged or targeted. We must celebrate enterprise and actively cultivate an environment where hard work and creativity is rewarded. Entrepreneurship must not be viewed through a political lens. The success of a business should never depend on which political regime is in power, nor should it be stifled by partisan labels. Our role as political leaders is not to frustrate private sector actors, but to foster a fair and enabling environment where merit, innovation, and hard work thrive. And as we nurture this culture of enterprise, we must also take a hard look at how we extend opportunity, particularly to the youth. They must be supported only when they must not be supported only when they wear our party colors. They must be supported when they demonstrate potential, creativity, and drive. Ghana's future cannot be built on partisan loyalty. It must be built on merit. Those who deserve opportunity should be given opportunity, regardless of political affiliation. That is how we build a nation. That is how we create competition. And that is how we create progress in a nation. I believe that the time has come for Ghana to consider establishing a national orientation program built around these values, one that instills a renewed sense of civic responsibility, discipline, hard work, and enterprise in our national psyche. We must deliberately shape a new Ghanaian mindset, one that values hard work over shortcuts, merit over connections, and contribution over entitlement. The public sector is already choked, and the jobs of the future will be created in the private sector. This is the mindset people need to have. Such a program, especially if targeted at the youth, could play a transformative role in reshaping national attitude and helping us build a country where excellence is expected rewarded and sustained. The role of the financial sector in the growth of indigenous business cannot be overstated. For our economy to thrive, we must ensure that financial institutions play a more proactive role in supporting local enterprises, not only in providing capital, but also in creating the opportunities that will allow these businesses to grow and ultimately contribute to job creation on a national scale. It is imperative that the financial sector adjusts its approach, becoming more attuned to the needs of small and medium-scale enterprises, particularly those led by young Ghanaian entrepreneurs. We must bridge the gap between access to finance and entrepreneurial potential by developing financial products and solutions tailored to the specific challenges faced by our local businesses. Your Excellency, by doing so, we shall cultivate industries that are sustainable, innovative, and grounded in the realities of our local context. This shift will help transform the business landscape, making local enterprises the backbone of our economy and key drivers of job creation. As financial institutions, you were expected to rise to this challenge. You would not just provide capital, but become true partners in the growth of a prosperous Ghana. I conclude by thanking Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, for putting together a platform like this, which continues to shape the future of business in Ghana. This initiative is crucial for not only promoting dialogue, but also translating those conversations into tangible actions that can propel us toward a brighter economic future. I would like to also acknowledge the contribution of all the industry players present. Let this be the beginning of sustained support for entrepreneurship in Ghana, so that together we can forge a path toward a brighter and more prosperous economic future. To the entrepreneurs, and here let me mention my respected colleague, Brian Achampon of Rock City fame. I was touched with what I saw, how he has transformed his little community as a major business hub. These and many more are what we expect from us, the indigenous entrepreneurs. Let me urge others to take full advantage of the opportunities. Invest boldly in your dreams, for they are the foundation of our collective future. To us as political leaders, the time has come. Let's not only be committed in words, but let us be committed in real terms in supporting entrepreneurs and the private sector. Let us work together to build a business ecosystem where success is driven by merit, hard work, and opportunity, and not by politics. Let me take the opportunity to thank you for this continued effort in creating a forum that will bring initiatives together. God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. Thank you very much once again.